I have 2,000 hours on Battlefront 2, majority of those being pure dueling, and I participated in many tournaments with hundreds of dollars at stake.
Gold taking a quick and decisive victory here over the Dooku.
Currently 4-0, Gold Snipe.
We saw this matchup earlier though.
Chat.
Gold was in the defensive.
What a
He
reversal.
managed to take it. Has Goku learned his lesson from the last one, his mistakes?
I'm like shit, I hopped out so quick, then I raised my blick and I don't miss. I let off two shots.
Oh my god, 43 HP!
He's real low. What you finna do, cause this gon' make the news, gotta make your move. Told that bitch
Can Goku do it? Can he make it to the second round? Oh my god, Goku does it!
There it is, chat! And this hoe is smiling, plus this bitch look cute, so we slide out. I'm checking my mirrors, made it to the house.
And this is how I would go about learning the game if I had to start all over. This video will go over the road to becoming a duelist in the game Battlefront 2. It's intended to help beginners learn the basics. I won't only tell you what to do, but how to learn for yourself and assess your own skills. Before we begin, I'd like to recommend you watch my previous video that covers similar subject matter after this one. I believe layered with this video, it will let you know what macro strategies you should be playing at any stage of the game, and what micro tactics you should use to implement them. I'd also like to add the disclaimer that this is my personal opinion, and I do not claim to have the best understanding of the game, nor the perfect idea of how to play. This is what I believe is most optimal, and feel free to disagree. Lastly, any game mechanic that this video will show will be linked in the description with timestamps. Good luck. If I were to start over, I'd learn all the same character abilities and what they do. I'd recommend co-op on Wednesdays and Thursdays for triple XP, or even double XP on the weekends for grinding levels. I've linked playlists for XP guides by a player known as Vorpal, who in my opinion has amazing content. He goes over the best star cards and maps and spawn points to farm the most XP with any character in the entire game. They're normally for maxing out of character, but we'll use it for the purpose of getting your character to the level to have all of their star cards maxed out, so you're free to choose whichever one you like. First things first, settings. In my opinion, this game when playing with lightsabers is better without aim assist, and with the sensitivity ranging from 80 to 100. However, I would recommend anyone who's completely new to start with 60 or 65 and slowly increase their sensitivity over time as they get more comfortable. This helps with defense, combos, and general capability to do a multitude of things for a multitude of different reasons. Anyway, I'd learn what their abilities do and get comfortable with them. This will allow you to get a general feel for the game and even level up so you can upgrade your star cards. Star cards are in-game perk that can be used to upgrade things about your character, whether it be abilities, HP, stamina, damage, etc. Some cards in competitive or among players that duel in tournaments, because competitive may not be official in this game, they tend to ban certain cards that are a bit overpowered or may ruin the balancing of 1v1s and dueling in this game. For now, don't mind that, because you are new and should focus on other things. But keep that in mind that star cards can break or make a character and change playstyles. I do believe most characters have one or two near objective star card setups. I may release a video giving my opinion on these later, but for now, this video linked by Krispy should do fine. Keep in mind, star cards can be a game mode specific thing. His video also includes timestamps as well, so be sure to use them. Though again, if you are brand new, you don't even have cards yet to begin with, hence the ordering process of the video so far. Next, I start off with a few simple broad concepts to play inside as you progress. If you've watched my previous video, these may sound familiar. Battlefront is very much a turn-based game. I believe there are 3 stages in a duel, like Mortal Kombat or any other fighting game: offense, defense, and most importantly, neutral. As I've said in my previous video, this game is partially resource management. Early on in the game, when no one has taken significant damage or wasted scary abilities, is what I call neutral. When you have the massive advantage, for example HP, that's when I'd be more aggressive. And finally, defense is the opposite. For now though, this is what I would focus on: health regeneration and stamina. This game has a regeneration mechanic where if you take damage over time, you can regenerate it back. Once you've taken over a certain amount of damage, you lost permanent HP. Let's say I have 10 HP total at the start of the match. If I can regenerate up to 3 of those points, that's my max regen. If my opponent hits me twice, I consider it a good time to back off so I don't lose permanent HP. And since he hasn't taken over 3 points of my HP yet, I still have the potential to regenerate my HP back to full. If they hit me 4 times, however, that passes the 3 HP point threshold that we've set for ourselves. And now I've taken permanent damage. The biggest issue among beginners is that they are not aware of their HP regeneration and play risky when they've already taken damage that puts them in that danger zone of taking permanent damage. The next one is a mechanic I'd learn if I were new. How to parry. This, coupled with the HP awareness, you will learn when and when not to go for bad or good trades. People tend to overextend and kill themselves slowly by being too aggressive. You want to back off and try to get your regeneration back when you take some damage. You want to stack your momentum when you have the life lead. This video here by my friend Ripping Sacks gives a great explanation and tutorial to help newcomers learn the parry and even master it. If you have under 200 300 hours, stop here. Get familiar with this, and then I believe you should come back to this video when you're ready. Get used to the characters and what other abilities do. Maybe build up my star cards and get some experience. Mess around on the game, buy some skins, learn how to parry and maybe a few other things, and then I'd come back. It's important not to overload yourself with information, because then you might get confused and you might learn too fast, and it'll be harder to beat out bad habits later on down the line. But continue at your own discretion. Next, after you've gotten familiar with the gameplay loop and the characters, I learned a few more mechanics: lunges and animation cancels. You can practice offline with the second controller by using something to hold the block button down, or even an HVV or Hero Showdown match. After that, I learned to use hook swings. Those mechanics, 2 minutes each a day, go a long way. And then I learned combos, the basic ones. For a combo to be good, it must be practical. So something risky like a Mar frame trap, for example, is not something I'd use often. It needs to be something you can do consistently, and it must do solid damage. So anything that wastes all of your abilities might be an expensive combo. Anything too inconsistent to hit may be less optimal to attempt repeatedly. I will say this stage is definitely one of the longer periods, and a lot of new mechanics you're learning, as well as combos. I also think you should take this point to incorporate stamina pressure and pay extreme attention to stamina conservation. It is my opinion that most players, not just beginners, but all players, lose due to poor stamina management. Use this to your advantage when fighting. In terms of combos, I started learning lunge combos because it's already a mechanic you're trying to learn, so implementing it in combos at the same time makes sense. Animation cancels are pretty easy once you get the hang of it. Personally, I use them for all stages of the game, but I think they should be used most in neutral because it's a safer way to build the momentum or gain the advantage. I use hook swings as well as lunges on offense. Another thing, I'd like you to think about the distance management in this game as a resource for defense. Broadly speaking, when you are close up, you are naturally put in a more aggressive position and have the ability to do more. Keep this in mind during stages of the game. If I have the advantage, I want to be close and not let them get away to regenerate HP. If I need to regenerate, I should back off and play safer. Dodges play a big role. The fundamentals of this game are predictions. Why do you think the parry is so popular? I think dodge conservation and predictability go hand in hand, especially with stamina management on the line. Keep this in mind, not to be too predictable with your dodges, and take time to gather them when you are on defense. If you run out, you're more susceptible to getting hook swung, or various other ways of getting pressured. Now you're learning defensive concepts, offensive techniques and combos, and you've already learned when you're in the more neutral state and when you should play safer before committing to offense. I then focus on conversions as I continue to build my combos and tech consistently. I see a ton of people get pressured and think the only way to get off of defense is to parry a lot or fight fire with fire. Sometimes creating space and distance to reset back to neutral is the smarter choice. And it works the other way around. Some people get an offensive opportunity but overextend because they don't trust they'll get another opportunity to do permanent damage or kill the opponent. This is a large issue, even among experienced players, that really shows skill. If you feel like you're going to go out on your shield. When you get desperate, you seal your fate and reinforce bad habits. You lose your composure and your opponent will read that. It makes you an easy kill because they can pressure you into making a mistake, making you kill yourself out of panic rather than making them work for it. This stage of the game, you are not only working to master combos and mechanics, but the general gameplay loop, stamina pressure, HP, and predictability. One piece of advice so you don't become as logically predictable as me: don't play the game perfectly, play the opponent perfectly. Not everyone will think the same way as you do. Not everyone will play the stages as they are quote-unquote supposed to. To counter their weaknesses and to avoid their strengths is probably a better strategy than to just default to the same thing against everyone. Be ready for people who break the mold and learn ways around it. My parting advice for this caliber of player is to play the player perfectly, not the game. Next up is what I think separates decent players from good players, playing matchups, and ultimately that means playing neutral. I'll make a video going over this concept more broadly soon. This is, in my opinion, where the game is won, even at the highest levels. But for now, work on that and build consistency. Please check the description for the links and additional channels in the videos that I believe will help develop your skills.
I was just counting sheep till I got milked in my sleep. I wasn't jerking, I swear. They took every last drop from me. Didn't wanna hear a peep 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 from me. I wasn't jerking it, I promise you. 'Cause I don't go no Monday, so they milk me on a Tuesday. My point is, yeah, I'm innocent, yeah. Didn't hear a peep from me.
Claw, can he connect it? He connects the claw. Good hook there from the Grievous, securing a